Welcome, my friends. What a tumultuous time we find ourselves in. Just when we think things cannot get any more chaotic, they end up being more chaotic. And what I'm referring to, my friends, as you know, if you followed me or followed our work, you know that I left three countries to get here. In the countries that I left, they all were democratic countries. They all had elections, and in those countries, when an election would happen, this is Ethiopia, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. In those countries, when an election would happen, if anyone was known to have voted for the challenger, bad things would happen to that person. People were killed, people were injured, their businesses were vandalized. This is the reality of where I came from. So, why am I sharing that with you? Because here in the United States of America, this country that has been this beacon of light, this symbol for fairness, transparency, this symbol for free speech and debate in that country, this country here that I'm privileged to call my home now, here, the people that have power are doing exactly what the people in the countries I left did, except they're not using physical brutality. No, they're more sophisticated than that. They are leveraging media, news, and the judicial system. And I'm referring to this drama, if I could call it that, of the Trump trial. And the reason I say that is when I look at the news and I see the reporting, and then I actually go to the source information, what the news is portraying is over here, what the source information, the actual facts is over here. They're not even close to being the same. And so they are manipulating the minds and hearts of the American people, and they are literally enforcing a one-party system, a dictatorship, by taking the political challenger and doing with him through the court system what they did in the countries I grew up with, physical brutality. And sometimes I think that what they're doing here is actually worse than what took place in the countries I left. But, as you know, when we do these programs, I'm not coming to you with just news. I'm coming to you with opportunities for action. And so because of that, I want to have you guys meet again my friend, Cliff Gephardt. And Cliff, I'm so delighted that you're on the program with me today. How are you, Cliff?
I'm fabulous. Thank you for having me, Raj. And that word tumultuous is kind of a hard word to roll off the tongue, but it really is what's happening. It's an unbelievable series of events. And, you know, if you would have told people what was going on like 20 years ago, if you would have told your grandparents who lived in America their whole lives, I mean, it's almost unbelievable. And what I think is it's unbelievable still because people aren't being told it. You know, people that watch NBC's nightly news and ABC, and they just see this weird bastardized version of some bizarre like display of what's happening. It's nothing like that. I mean, it just poke your head out a little bit and just start asking questions. And, you know, I'm not a legal scholar, you know, but when I look at what's going on, I'm like, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. So, yeah, I'm glad there's people like you and other people that are at least willing to try and turn back the tides of this bizarreness, you know.
The purpose of this video we're doing here, my friends, is to simply present to you what's actually happening. And I'm so jaded, to be honest with you, with what we call the news industry here. Upon further research, we're finding now that all the news channels, if you're listening to a news program that has three letters as its name, we find and we trace the ownership, and we trace who funds those, who pays for the ads that keep those channels on the air: the pharmaceutical industry, the oil and gas industry, the real estate industry. You'll find that all of that money and all of the ownership is traced back to a small group of people with a very unified political ideology. And they're using what people think is news as a way to influence, manipulate the public. So what we want to do on this program is actually present to you something that is unique, one of a kind, historic, on several levels, and something that your news agencies, if you're listening to news agency with begins with 3 letters, is not going to tell you. And I'm doing my best to defend network, to let people know about what's happening. And this is an action. This is what made our country great. People taking action. So, Cliff, I don't want to steal your thunder, but the moment you told me what you're doing, I just said to you, Cliff, you did the biggest boat parade in history. You created the most publicized coffee shop in American history. You decided to give first responders respected treatment when other other businesses like Starbucks was throwing first responders out. And now you have come up with another phenomenal, inspirational idea. So I don't want to hype this up anymore, Cliff. Tell the people what you're planning on doing in New York.
Well, we all see Trump. He's being held against his will. Let's just say what it is. He's being held against his will. He's being forced to sit in a courtroom of just a complete sham trial. I mean, even legal scholars on the left say they don't even know what the basis is. They don't even know what he's charged with. They don't even know how to defend it because they don't know what it is. And Trump, unlike Biden was in my city recently, and I think he had like 20 people there, and the cameras were just trying to position them so it looked like there was some actual attendance, which there wasn't. Where Trump will go out places and he'll have between 15 and 50,000 people. So what I decided, and I've been to many Trump rallies, I came up with the idea, bring the rally to Trump. Bring the rally to Trump. And I kind of consider it like, MAGA in Manhattan. Then Trump came out after I had come up with the bring the rally to Trump. He then went on to Truth and said that we should be able to protest in front of courthouses. We should be able to stand on courthouses steps. And it shouldn't just be the left that is allowed to participate in these activities. It should be all people. So I thought, why don't we? If you believe in what Trump stands for, if you believe he's the firewall to prevent what's happening to him to happen to us, if you believe that he is fighting for what we believe in, and there's millions and millions and millions and millions of people across this land that have voted for Trump, that have supported Trump, that have donated to Trump, that have gone to rallies, all we're asking for is about 4,000 to 5,000 people to show up outside that courthouse. We don't need 50,000. We don't need 250,000 like was at, January 6th. We don't need that many. We just need a few thousand to show up and say, listen, President Trump, we're here for you. We appreciate what you're doing, and we sympathize with what you're going through, and we're here to support you. So that's what we're doing. If you go to MAGATrumprally.com, MAGATrumprally.com. Now, this has nothing to do with the campaign, because I don't think the campaign wants to get involved in this, okay? But we see that Trump has gone out. He's spoken to workers. He's spoken to people that have been assaulted in Harlem. We need to bring the rally to Trump. If Trump can't bring the rally to us, then we need to bring it to him. Here's the thing I'm asking for, guys. I'm not asking for a lot, but I don't have gobs of money. We need $40,000. We need $40,000 to pay for the riser, the audio, and all that stuff in Manhattan. And it's not like we can just bring our own. Manhattan and New York is a completely different animal. You got to go through all these regulations, and you got to use, union vendors, and it's a really, really, really big pain in the butt. Here in Florida, if you were to do this, we just bring it and load it up. But I've learned that Manhattan is completely different than most other places. So we need to raise a little bit of money. So like 40 grand isn't much. If 40 people gave me $1,000, if 80 people gave me $500, if 1,000 people gave me $40, I don't care. I'll throw in some, but we need to raise 40 grand. But more importantly, you need to get on a plane. You need to book your trip for May 24th. That's Fleet Week, May 24th. It's also Fleet Week, so you can go and you can experience all Fleet Week has to offer in Manhattan. It's going to be a great time. But at 5 o'clock, when Trump walks out of that courtroom, presumably, we think it'll probably be around 5 o'clock. We all want to be there and show him our support, and hopefully he'll come out and say a few words to us. That's the plan, Raj.
This is big. This is big. And you can see now why I wanted to bring this idea to you, my friends in the defense community. So let's take a step back here. Let's take a step back. Some of you like the idea of Trump. Some of you may not. Here's what I want to ask you to consider. Regardless of where you sit, Democrat, Republican, Independent, what have you, so many of you are so frustrated with the Republican Party, the Democrat Party. I get it. A lot more, even more of you don't want to have anything to do with politics. I get that, because I definitely am there with you as well. What's critical right now in this nation is that free discourse with the people, by the people, of the people, be allowed to happen. And that your friends, if you're watching this, I know you probably have the same ideology that I do, but your friends who may or may not feel that, it's so critical that their voices are heard. And right now, their voices are not being heard. Why? Because your opportunity to choose between candidates is being thwarted, just like it was in my country. Most of you watching this are very disappointed this is happening. But I'm asking you, you got to shift from disappointment, complaining, criticism, resignation. You got to shift from that into action. Mm-hmm. And my friends, I literally cannot think of a more tangible action that you can take than to respond to what you just heard today. You have to get yourself from spectator, like watching a sport, onto the court, being a player. And what Cliff and the team at MAGA Realty, you've got to talk about that here as well. Let me just you can see that on the ticker right here. MAGA Realty is the first chief sponsor. It's one of Cliff's companies, one of Cliff and Steve Coderre's companies. They are starting this process. You just have to partner with them. That's all. Get your ticket, get your hotel, get yourself to Manhattan. The dates are right there. You can see that on the screen. And I'm just going to keep drumming this. Take an action, take an action, take an action. Think about this. Think about all the stuff you see on Twitter, all the traffic, all those people that are so indignant and are saying, oh, this is so wrong, and Biden this and Biden that. If we could get 5% of those people, that's you, I'm talking to you, to get yourself to Manhattan, the game changes. You have to show by show of numbers that this matters to you. The opposition can see your Twitter feed. They can see your Facebook, and they know, oh, these guys are just keyboard warriors. They're just venting on the computer. But will they actually take any action? Here's the time for do that. So action, action, action.
Hey, Raj, I want to say one thing.
Yeah.
I was told that when Trump went down to Harlem, that spectacle or that media was worth about $20 million to the campaign. We saw that Trump had like a record-breaking day where he raised $50 million down at Mar-a-Lago a few weeks ago. If 10,000 people, if 5,000 people, if 3,000 people show up in that small confined area outside of the courthouse, the value of that has been calculated. I've spoken to many, many, many political analysts and many political consultants. The value of that will be $50 million in media attention that Trump will receive. $50 million. $50 million. That's how much media attention he will receive. So we can do this, and we can bring great value, not just to the message and what we need to do for America to save this country from kangaroo courts, but we can also do good by actually providing valuable coverage from the media to the American people that can't be ignored and can't be, confused and can't be spun. If we show up, we will bring Donald Trump and his campaign and America valuable media coverage that you can't get by buying any ads. There's no ads you can get that could give him the media coverage and the value that he would get if 3,000 people show up for MAGA in Manhattan.
My friends, I think it's clear. The opportunity in front of you is simple, easy to actionize. I want to just speak to those of you that, like me, have now been burnt and resigned by so-called grifters. This is not a money-making situation here, and don't take my word for it. Let me show you something here, my friends, that I think if you don't know, I think you'll enjoy seeing. Cliff Gephardt, who we're talking to, and his partner, business partner, Steve Coderre, that you can see on screen, they are actually taking proceeds from their business and they are helping fund the work that is trying to rescue our republic. And you can see it right there, MAGArealty.com, MAGArealty.com. Most of you have no idea that this is even in place. This is a business where people who are already going to buy and sell their home, they're going to do it anyway. They're going to use a real estate agent. What MAGA Realty does is MAGA Realty comes and provides first-class professional real estate service. And you ask, if you're thinking, well, Raj, why are you hyping this up so much? Give me a minute. They're providing first-class real estate professional services to help you and your friends who are looking to buy or sell a home. And they will take care of the entire process. They've done thousands and thousands of transactions already. But the reason I'm hyping this up or promoting this, and maybe I'm not, the reason I'm promoting and talking about this so much is $2 billion is how much money flows when a real estate transaction happens. And if you're using any of the traditional real estate companies, those companies are owned by people that are taking the commissions from the sale of your home, from the purchase of your home. They're taking the commissions, and those are $2 billion. And
no, it's $125 billion a year, Raj.
What? Say that again, Cliff. Say that again.
Every year, there's $125 billion of real estate commissions just on residential property. That doesn't include commercial and things like that. $125 billion. And a bulk of that is owned by companies that are grounded and funded and backed by liberals. And you can just go on to opensecrets.org and you can find out where, the founder and creator of Keller Williams spends his money, who he donates to, or EXP or Berkshire Hathaway, where Warren Buffett has been responsible for killing 8 million souls through donating $4 billion of his money to pro-abortion causes. Warren Buffett has given $4 billion. That's not a number I made up. That's not a number. It's just, you just Google it. He's given $4 billion. An abortion costs $500. It could be argued that Warren Buffett has killed, terminated, eliminated, or wiped out 8 million souls created by God. But yet people will still put a sign in their yard of a company that Warren Buffett owns. But they would never put a Biden sign in their yard. So what we decided is we're going to stop all that, and not one shiny penny will ever go towards any liberal campaigns or causes. And you do have a choice. But it's crazy what people will do. The largest real estate company in America the CEO has funded the DNC, Fetterman, Biden, but yet people will still put that sign in their yard. They just don't know. They're more worried about a $3 can of beer than they are a $30,000 real estate commission they give to somebody. So we decided that we're no longer going to participate in that, and we are going to Bud Light the entire real estate industry. So, and there's news articles about it. You can Google it.
Very straightforward, right? So it's simple idea. You can see. So MAGA Realty takes that money and it puts it towards causes that you and I support. And I wanted to make sure that you're aware of it. So now that you see a little bit more of the bigger picture, this event taking place, you can see that right there. This event that's taking place here in Manhattan, May 24th, MAGATrumpRally.com. Very easy action to take. Here's what I'd like you to do right now. Get your calendar. Please put those dates on your calendar because you and I are so busy. That's number one. Number two, go get your ticket, get your hotel, get it handled right now. And then number three, share this video with a friend. Just share it with 3 people. And here's how I'd like you to do it. I'd like you to pick up the phone, call them and say, look, I have something that's very important to me. I'm actually going to Manhattan. I'm going to be putting myself there. And this is an event that I would very, very much like for you to share with me. This is one of those pivotal historic events. This is going to be one of those events that will either spark more community involvement if we have enough people, or it won't. This is one of those events that will alter the trajectory. At the moment, if you look at the trajectory, what's happening with how the legal systems are being manipulated, it is more likely that the bullies will thwart the direction of the 2024 elections so that it doesn't represent your voice. Yeah. We have to have actions like this that put this back on the right course so that the voice and the will of the American public, not the oligarchs that control news, big business, the will of the American public is honored. So again, Cliff, just wrap up for us. where, when, and why of this historic event.
So we need to do it because Trump has asked us to do it. If you look at his truth that I think you posted, where he said we should be allowed to protest on courthouse steps, he's asked us to do it. He can't come to us, so we need to go to him. It's also Fleet Week, guys. So Fleet Week is a great time to be in Manhattan. There'll be a lot of patriotism in Manhattan, unlike many other days. So it's Fleet Week. Manhattan's not a bad place to go if you're a tourist. There's still some good to it. So we can get a lot done. Friday, you can go and peacefully and lawfully protest and support Trump. I don't even want to say it's a protest. It's not a protest. It's just we're going there in solidarity of what President Trump is dealing with. I'm not protesting anything. I'm going there in solidarity. If one of my family members had a death in the family, you would go there and be in solidarity with them. You're not protesting the death. You're just going there to be there and support them. That's what I'm going there for. I'm not going to protest anything. The courts will work themselves out. I'm going there to show solidarity to President Trump. Also, there's other cool things to do in Manhattan. We're going to have some other events possibly on Saturday, but it's Fleet Week. It's Manhattan. President needs us there. It's not that expensive to get there. It's an easy get there from anywhere in America. We just need to go, guys. We just need to go. Bring the rally to Trump. So go to MAGA Trump Rally. It's a Facebook event. Say you're going and share it. Say you're going, share it. Say you're going and share it. And let's just make this happen. We got almost a month, guys. Got almost a month to get 3,000 people. If the desire to support President Trump can't get 3,000 people to Manhattan, then this country is lost. This country is lost. And if you're not willing to go, you're no longer part of the solution. You're part of the problem, guys. So we need action. Like Raj says, action, action, action. We need to take action. There's my soapbox, Raj.
Thank you, Cliff. That was very well said. So, my friends, easy steps. You just heard it. Number one, please go get yourself put on your calendar, get your ticket. Why am I saying that? I'm encouraging you, my friends, because I know how busy you and I are. Something's going to happen, some cat video, something is going to happen immediately after this video. So I want to take the action now. Put in your calendar, book your ticket, book your hotel, and then call someone and say, look, I'm going to be in New York. It's going to be great. It's very important to me that you also accompany me. I'd like to share this experience with you. I'm sending you a link with the video that you're just watching here, and I'll explain it to them.
Raj, I will say this. There's times in history where you look at what happened on the Selma Bridge and things like that. There are times in history that people can look back on, and your grandkids will say, my dad, my mom, my aunt, my uncle were there. They were there when that moment happened. And we should all participate in these great moments and look back on our lives and think, man, we accomplished something. We did something. We were there we had a front row seat. We had a front row seat to something that was amazing and that made a difference in America. That's what everybody should go for, to have a front row seat to something that could actually make the country that they love better. So that's one reason why I do all this stuff. I want a front row seat, guys.
Be there. It's going to be fun. And the reason I say that is whenever Cliff and his team put something together, it's always great. It's always peaceful. It's always law-abiding, and it's always fun. He's already done it with the boat parade. He did it with the coffee shop. He's done it with so many different events. Help Cliff get this done. Donate to this event. You find more.
We just need a few dollars from everybody. Look, I just don't have 40 grand. I got 2 kids in college. I'm struggling like everybody, but I will put my share in. I promise you, I will put my share in. But if somebody could kind of throw us a bone, if you know of a wealthy donor, a PAC person, I don't care where the money comes from. We need money because unlike St. Petersburg, where I live, Manhattan is a whole different animal with unions and who's allowed to do what.
Be in Manhattan. It's going to be terrific. We look forward to seeing you there. And again, the website is right here, MAGATrumpRally.com. Take action. Cliff, man, first, thanks for being brilliant with these creative ideas. I love it. Thanks for responding to what the president put on his tweet. Instead of just talking about it, you're putting something together. Thanks for making it peaceful, law-abiding, and a fun event for everyone. And importantly, a message that we can send to the bullies that are manipulating everything that, look, the American people care. We're willing to show up, and we need our voices listened to. See you at MAGATrumpRally.com. Cliff, thank you so much for talking with me. Thanks for being an amazing action taker, and we look forward to seeing you on the next conversation, whenever that is.
All right, thank you, Raj, for having me.